Microphone is okay. Now the microphone is on. Now maybe you're gonna hear us. So there's a couple of people online. I know it's like last minute. We weren't sure you'll be able to do something. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining us during all this tour. So we are here at the Malaga airport. Our plane is already parked right there. There is a Häagen-Dazs kiosk right behind
Outside.
us. And it's, yes, right outside here at the Malaga airport. We are going back to Brazil, and it was really, really, really cool uh, trip. And I think it was really nice to see all of you. If you can say hello on the chat, just so we know who's watching us. But Otávio, it was a really cool trip, and I think we talked with a lot of people. Can you
Yeah.
highlight one of the most important things that you learned here?
Oh, what I learned here was more about the community, the POF community here in Europe. Was really great to find nice guys, nice Java champions, NetBean champions, really cool people.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the community was really, really important, and it was really nice to see a lot of very nice and very committed people, committed to Java technology, committed to improve their own careers, and things like that. So from all the advice that we got from people about improving their careers, is there anything that you kind of want to like to say that was nice?
Yes, uh, basically the same thing. Go to the conference, go to the events. You can learn more about the people, more about technology. Technical skills is really important, but soft skill is nice.
Mhm.
You need to keep communicate to another people. Network is really important to you. Participate to open source project because you can give some things to the community, but you can learn too. If
Yeah.
the code of the experienced guy, okay.
Yeah, that's very nice. So I think that's you
But
highlight.
okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
By the way, the best way to see the future is basically making the future.
Making the future. Very, very good, Otavio. So, yes, I think that's you highlighted the major points, and I think absolutely everyone said that one of the most important turning points of their careers was when they start to participate in the community or start to participate in open source projects, because that kind of changed the way that they saw their own careers and also changed the way that other people saw their careers. So no, so I think we should take this to heart, because it's really absolutely everyone said that those things were very important. So if you want to improve your career, find a way to participate, find a way to share what you know, um, and find a way to do networking for other people, because that is a big thing for everyone. Now, the main problem that we have when we are talking about, you got to share, you got to participate, you got to do things, is one thing called fear. That's one thing that's one of the Java champions highlighted. It was about the fear, right? Fear of change, fear of doing things, the fear of failure, right? And I think this is really, really nice that we have to think about that. All of us are afraid. All of us have the fear. We have the fear of not being able to do it. So we gotta overcome that fear, right? We have been talking about the fear of delivering. Right? That's what we see a lot in the projects. Yes, we're at the airport, as we said, right? So I don't think we can compete with that. Yes. So if you're whatever you are, just know this is Spanish, right? Yes. Now it's in English. You know. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. So it's impossible to do anything in the airport without the big announcement, right? So we have to hear now. All right. So the fear of delivering, the fear of doing it, the fear of not being able. This is paralyzing, right? So a lot of us developers, we are procrastinators, and procrastination is also a fear, right? You don't you think it's not, right, but it is. you have the fear of actually doing things. So you know, we have to overcome this, right? It is hard, right? It is a daily struggle, but you know, we all have to learn that that's the bigger, the most important developers, the most important people that we met. They all had to overcome this fear. They all had to learn how to go and talk to the community, how to share their code. They have to overcome the fear of looking bad, right? They had to overcome the fear of starting again, because a lot of times you're starting again. So I think it's really cool that you know, that we all could take a that we all take a look in ourselves and see where the fear that we have are hindering our careers, right? So we are going to do more discussion about how we can overcome this fear, and very soon we're going to let you know. But I think that if we get this lesson, overcome your fears, and so you can participate in the community, you can participate in open source projects. I think you're going to go very far in your career,
Okay, Bruno.
right?
Right.
So I know we have several people online already. I'd like to thank you for just kind of joining us, like in this really quick thing. If you have any last questions that you want to ask, please do. This is gonna be a really quick broadcast. We're probably gonna broadcast here for maybe 5 more minutes, not more than that. Our plane, there's already a big line over there for our plane. It's not boarding yet, so we still have a few minutes. But we are here to answer your question, right? So, you know, if there's any last thing you want to ask, or some, you know, can you tell us if you like it or not? What were your turning points? So what was your turning point, Otávio? That was really
Please,
good.
good. Bruno, go first.
I'll go first. Okay. So Max, thanks a lot for this question. So I think my biggest turning point was I had this really unique opportunity that I was. Oh yes, you like it. Thanks, Max. So
Thank you,
I
Max.
had this really unique opportunity of being on the right time, the right moment, because I learned about Java 1 week before Java was officially announced. And at that moment, I was, you know, I was a sales support guy, right? My future career would be going away from development. I wanted to do development. That everything I wanted to do was go and do development. I was a developer. I was a developer for many years already, and but I was working for Sun Microsystems, and I thought that, you know, I would have a good career inside Sun, but being inside Sun, a multinational, in the offices in Brazil, I had no chance of actually doing any kind of development. So I learned about Java a week before Java was announced. It was really good that the Sun was a very open company, and I just kind of grabbed the opportunity right there. And the thing that I did was I started talking about Java. I thought it was so cool that I started giving talks at universities and to our coworkers inside Sun. And so when Java took off, I was already being seen as the guy that knew what Java was inside Sun Brazil. And so it's kind of a mixture of two things, of actually being luck, right? And now this whole thing about being luck, it's really interesting because I can look back, and the reason why I was luck at that moment in time was because many years before I learned in English, and the reason why I was introduced to Java very early is because I spoke good English, and there was a instructor from Sun that came from the US to give a training in Brazil, and I was able to sit with him, and I took him to lunch, and we were talking and discussing, doing some networking, right? Because everyone else from the course just left and left him alone in the room. So I went to him and said, hey, you know, come eat with me, and I took him out for lunch, and we discussed lots of things. And then this guy told me, so, you know, do you want to be a developer? Because I told him what I wanted to do. So he said, do you want to be a developer inside Sun? You should take a look at this development technology. So it's you know, a lot of you guys that are watching us, of course, you're watching us in English. You know how important English is, but in Brazil, that's a problem. A lot of people still not learn English. So for me, I see that you know, because I've learned English, I had a good English. I was able to talk with this guy and tell him what I wanted to do, and he showed me the way. Because I think that's the other interesting thing is, there's a lot of cool people out there. So if you can join, if you can work with the cool people, they're gonna tell you what is the good thing to do, what is the next step that you can do. And by working on an open source project, by joining the community, you can find those guys. They're looking for the future. They want things to do. And I followed that guy's suggestion, and it completely changed my life right there.
Okay. My turning points was, my father is programmer,
Hmm.
and my first language was C and C++.
Hmm.
But I know some code, I like to learn. But when I went to Java 1 Brazil, I met new guys, and I could see how these guys from Java community was so nice. Guys could help me better,
Hmm.
and then I could see how English is important because a lot of speaker just speaking English, not Portuguese or Spanish, just English. So just when I have had this contact in Java 1 Brazil, I could learn it really better. My next step, because I need to learn English to understand what these guys talk to me, and then I figure out that it's so easy to understand Java because there are a lot of documentation. The people are really useful, so nice. So that is it.
That's really cool. So basically, again, it's you can be a good developer. I was a developer for many years. Otávio was already a developer. He was actually already working, trying to learn. He was already working on the Linux kernel. So he was in the list of the Linux kernel, trying to talk with people, and he was a good developer. But the moment that we really joined the community to start sharing what we knew, right? And that's actually when things start happening, right? So go to events, participate in the community, join open source project. I think this is a really really good way for you to start. So now, what are our next steps, Otávio? So we're gonna go back to Brazil now,
Yeah,
right? But there's a lot of people here following us on this discussion. So our next steps are, guys, we will first of all we'll all the videos that we had here, we gonna edit and cut them, and remove like the the beginning, the end, like when things were a little weird. We're gonna get all the videos that we did at Jay on the Beach. So they're like very long, like 5 hours long videos. We're gonna cut them in interviews that make sense, and we're gonna put everything available so if you miss anything, you can go and see. But also, we've been talking with lots of very cool people around this trip, and in we're gonna announce to you the next step for Code4Life. We're gonna tell you what we're gonna do for all those speakers that we've met, with all the people that we're talking to do something that's really really cool for your career. So keep up. Pay attention to our emails. This week we're gonna send you a gift from one of our sponsors here on the strip, so you can start learning containers, right? And I'll send you an email in a couple of days. But we're gonna keep finding good and career advices for you, so you can learn technology, you can learn soft skills. There are lots of cool stuff we're going to talk about, and we're going to keep you update on this. Okay, so thanks Max, thanks Carlos, thanks everyone that's watching us. We are approaching here the 15 minutes mark. That's what we wanted to do today, and it's just to be really quick. And I'll tell you one thing, guys, you guys rock, right? If it wasn't your questions, if it wasn't your interest, none of this would happen, because it was, me and Otávio, we just asked the same question. But you guys, you went way beyond. You asked all kinds of cool questions to our speakers, that you made this content possible. So thanks a lot for all your work.
okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay, guys, thanks a lot. And we're going to keep in touch. We're going to keep in contact, and we're going to keep helping you improve your careers, okay? All right, so we're going to end this. We are always late, Otávio, all the time. But this
Yeah.
time, we're going to end this on the 15 minutes mark, right on time.
Yeah,
And
because the flight cannot wait for us.
well, the flights start boarding right now, so
Okay.
we still have a few minutes here. But I think it's nice that we promise everyone that it's going to be quick, 15 minutes max. We're already 15 minutes going on. And I really like to thank you, all of you, for participating. And we're going to keep in touch. We're going to keep in contact with you over email and over next videos in the next 2 weeks. Okay? Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Oh, by the way, let me tell you one thing. I also have to thank Oracle for allowing us to make this trip. Jalesk and Dogado for helping us out with everything that happened here in Europe and sponsoring
JCP.
a lot. The guys from the JCP for supporting us also in coming here, and also Red Hat, that sent a very cool evangelist that participated with us. So, it's a bunch of companies that pulled together to make this possible. I think that was really cool. Thanks, guys, and thank you, because you are improving your career, and I think that's really rocks. I think that's the most important things you can do. Thanks. Okay, stop.